Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's just get right into it. Something huge is happening to the internet right now. The very fabric of the web we all grew up with, it's changing. It's shifting away from that open, kind of messy, sprawling place into something totally new, all driven by AI. And according to the analysis we're digging into today, the consequences, well, they could be massive. So, let's just start with this quote because, wow, it really sets the tone. It hits on this fundamental change in how we relate to technology. The whole idea is that we're not just users anymore, not even close. Now we're actually part of the system. We're the product, we're the training data, and yeah, we're the targets. So what does that actually mean day to day? All right, so the first big shift, it's all about how we find information. Think about it. We're moving away from the act of searching and toward demanding a single, perfect answer. For as long as I can remember, searching meant you got a list of blue links, right? It was like a map. It was up to you to explore, to compare different sites, maybe find some weird opinions, go down a few rabbit holes. That was the fun of it. But this new AI model, it's totally different. It does all the work for you. It sucks in all that information and spits out one single synthesized answer. The whole journey of discovery, gone, replaced by a final destination. And a lot of the time, you have no idea how it even got there. And look, this isn't some far-off prediction. It is happening so fast. That number you're seeing, 40%, that's how many people in Gen Z and the millennial generation are already going to AI tools first when they need information. Not Google. They're jumping straight to AI for, everything from help with their code to getting the news. This is not a what if, it's a right now. Okay, so it's super convenient, right? But that convenience comes with a pretty steep price. And according to the analysis we're looking at, that price is a massive increase in, user surveillance. And the key thing to understand here is the depth of the data they're grabbing. With old school search engines, they tracked what you searched for, right? Your search terms, the links you clicked. A little invasive, sure, but it was kind of surface level. These new AI systems, though, they are built to go so much deeper. It's not just about what you type, it's about how you think. They're analyzing your pauses, the way you rephrase things, your writing style, all to build what our source calls a multi-layered psychological blueprint. It's a whole different ballgame. And this isn't happening on some obscure platform. It's being baked right into the tools we use every single day, the browsers themselves. We're talking about Microsoft's Copilot, Opera's Aria, Brave's Leo. They all have these AI assistants built in now. And they're not just passively helping you. No, they are actively suggesting what you should read. They're offering to rewrite your emails and posts. They're summarizing articles for you. Basically, they are quietly steering your entire journey across the web. And that brings us to this quote, which just nails it. It's not about guessing anymore. We've gone from systems that tried to infer things about us to systems designed to literally extract our motivations, our vulnerabilities, our soul, as the quote says. It's a level of insight that's just completely unprecedented. So this isn't just about our personal privacy, as big a deal as that is. The analysis argues this is a threat to the entire system. It's a danger to the whole internet ecosystem. The source calls it a silent collapse of the open web. So how does that happen? Well, it's described as this: parasitic feedback loop. Okay, step one. The AI models just hoover up the entire web. They scrape and learn from billions of articles, blog posts, forum discussions, everything. Step two, they give you the answer directly, right in their own little box. So you never have a reason to click through to the original website. And that leads to step three. The people who actually made that content, they lose traffic, they lose ad revenue, and eventually they lose the reason to even create stuff in the first place. And here's the kicker. That starves the AI of the new information it needs to survive. See the loop? And listen, this is not just some academic theory. We have real-world data. Let's take Stack Overflow, the huge Q&A site for coders and programmers. It's basically the Bible for developers. The data shows this feedback loop happening in real time. Ever since AI coding assistants got big, the site has seen a huge drop. Not just in visitors, but in people asking new questions and providing new answers. Developers are just turning to AI instead for a quicker solution, even if it's not always the right one. And this chart, just look at it. It shows you just how steep that drop is. We're talking a projected 90% drop in the number of posts since just 2020. 90%. This is that final dangerous part of the loop where the sources start to vanish. When the actual human experts, the people who built the knowledge base of the internet, when they stop contributing, the whole ecosystem just starts to starve. So what's the real cost? What do we actually lose in all this? Serendipity. It's that magic, The magic of just stumbling onto something amazing you weren't even looking for. That weird, obscure blog, that tiny niche community, that one opinion that totally changes how you think. AI-curated answers, well, by their very design, they smooth everything out. They filter away the weird, the unexpected, all the wonderfully random stuff that makes the internet, well, the internet.
So, is that it? Is the web just doomed to become this boring, sterile place? Well, not necessarily. The source material doesn't just leave us with the problem. The last part of this explainer is all about the flip side, potential solutions, how we might actually reclaim our digital future.
The core idea here is to build a symbiotic relationship, not a parasitic one. We need AI and the web to work together, and there's a proposed path forward. First up, mandatory attribution. Simple, right? Make it a rule that AI has to credit its human sources. That way, traffic, recognition, and revenue can flow back to the actual creators. Second, give us control. Real control, right in our browsers to decide if and when we want AI butting in. And finally, we've got to support the alternatives. Decentralized, open source projects that are built to reward creators from the start, instead of just funneling all our data to a few giant tech companies. So as we get to the end here, the source leaves us with this really urgent final thought. We're not at a crossroads anymore. That implies we have time to stand around and debate which path to take. The time for that is over. It's a countdown. It's a countdown because all the things we've just talked about, the shift to answer engines, the deep surveillance, the slow death of independent websites, they're not coming soon. They are already happening. And at this point, doing nothing, that's a choice. And it's a choice with very real and very immediate consequences. And what's the ultimate risk here? What's at the end of that countdown? The source calls it a sterile monoculture. Imagine a future internet that's just flat, less diverse, less innovative, less free. A web where the most likely answer always wins out over the messy search for truth. Where that beautiful, vibrant chaos of human creativity gets ironed out into a predictable, boring, algorithm-managed space. Which brings us to the final and most important question. The soul of the internet is being harvested. This isn't just about a new tech gadget. According to the source, this is a fight for the very nature of our digital world. It's asking us to really think about our role in all this and to decide if we're going to fight to reclaim